Hi everyone, I hope you all are fine and enjoying good health. Welcome you all to my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about Marco Polo, an amazing explorer, voyager, writer, etc. But before starting the video, I just want to say you that please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates and do like the video. So let's start. So, who was Marco Polo? Marco Polo was an Italian voyager, explorer, writer, and merchant who was born in 1254 in Venice, Italy. He traveled from Europe to Asia, China through the Silk Route between the years 1271 and 1295. He remained in China for 17 years, where he was patronized by Kublai Khan, the Yuan Emperor of China in the 13th century. He wrote an account of all his travels in his book, 2 Million, the Million. It is considered one of the classics of travel literature. As a child of merchant family, he would have received a nice education that included reading, writing, and basic math. Marco's story begins with his father and uncle's journey. Niccolo and Maffeo left Venice in 1254 and traveled east. Marco would not see his father again until he was 15. Let's have a look on the timeline of Marco Polo. So, from 1254 till 1324, this was the life of Venetian explorer Marco Polo. Then, from 1260 till 1294, this was the reign of Kublai Khan, ruler of the Mongol Empire. Then, from 1271 till 1275, Marco Polo travels across Asia to China. And from 1292 to 1295, Marco Polo travels by land and sea from China to Venice. So, this is the picture of the house of Marco Polo, where he was born. So, let's see some questions regarding Marco Polo's life. So, the answer of this question is that Marco Polo contracted an illness and was forced to take refuge in the mountains of northern Afghanistan for an extended period of time. So, the next one question is, what were Marco Polo's last words? So, the answer is, his last words were, "I have not told half of what I saw." So, the third question is, what did Marco Polo discover on his travels? Marco Polo discovered many new people, places, and customs on his travels to China and back. In his book, Polo records such sites as Xanadu, the capital of Kublai Khan, the Mongol Emperor. Then, where did Marco Polo discover? So, the answer is, Marco Polo's travels to Asia immortalized in his Travels of Marco Polo. Marco, his father, and his uncle set out from Venice in 1271 and reached China in 1275. The Polos spent a total of 17 years in China. So the next one question is, what did Marco Polo discover during the Renaissance? So the answer of this question is, the first ship to sail around the world is less than 6 months. So Marco Polo influenced the Renaissance period by bringing back inventions and ideas from his travels. Some things he introduced to Europe were pasta, paper money, coal, lenses, gunpowder, silk, and spices. Then, what did Marco Polo discover in America? Polo arrived according to the documents and discovered a people who wore real skin, ate only fish, and lived in homes under the earth. According to the Smithsonian, the documents also describe a great glacier that came down into the sea. What did Marco Polo discover on the Silk Road? Marco described the vast Asian trading network and, in particular, the thriving silk, iron, and salt industries. He also described the foreign concepts of paper money as well as Chinese inventions such as porcelain pottery, China. What was Marco Polo's greatest achievement? Some of the major accomplishments that Marco Polo had were that he met the famous author Rusty Gallo. He wrote about Marco's travels and explorations in the book. The Book of Travels. From this book, many Europeans learned about China and its currency and what it used things for. This book also stimulated interest in. So the next one question is, how did Marco Polo change the world? Marco Polo changed the world in that he opened up trade routes to East India and China. This allowed for an increase in trade, expanding Europe's. So the next question is, why is it called Marco Polo? Who was Marco Polo and why is a children's game named after him? Marco Polo was a real person. He was a merchant from Venice who wrote about his adventures traveling on the Silk Road in the 13th century. His tales were widely read in Europe, and his name became synonymous with venturing into the unknown. The next one question is, what did Marco Polo see in China? So through it all, Marco Polo marveled at China's cultural customs, great wealth, and complex social structure. He was impressed with the empire's paper money, efficient communication system, coal burning, gunpowder, and porcelain, and called Exando, the greatest palace that ever was. The next one question is, what did Marco Polo invent? For example, Marco Polo brought back the idea of paper money, and some think his descriptions of coal, eyeglasses, and a complex postal system eventually led to their widespread use in Europe. Marco Polo's book inspired Christopher Columbus and other explorers to begin their new adventures. The next question is, what languages did Marco Polo speak? Although he knew little or no Chinese, he did speak some of the many languages then used in Asia, most probably Turkish, in its common dialect as spoken among the Mongols, Arabized Persian, Uyghur, and perhaps Mongols. What did Marco Polo actually discover? It was Marco Polo's book of his travels that introduced Europeans to China and Central Asia. Although he was not the first European to travel to China, he was the first to write about his adventures, and so it was his experiences that formed the basis of early European knowledge of the country. How did Marco Polo end? Marco, Jingam, and Bayamba all stayed true to the Khan in the end. Even though Marco let his father live after the battle against the Crusaders. It was a bold move, even after Empress Chabi gave him permission to return to Italy. Bayamba may be this reviewer's favorite son of the Khan. The next one question is, what did Marco Polo write about? Polo stories about his travels in Asia were published as a book called The Description of the World, later known as the Travelers of Marco Polo. Just a few years after returning to Venice from China, Polo commanded a ship in a war against the rival city of Genoa. What was the result of Marco Polo's voyage? So the answer is, Marco Polo's travels resulted in a bringing back of knowledge of the Asian world. If not for him, the Europeans would have never known about life in Asia and what great things were there. For example, he talked about Kublai Khan's great luxurious palace. Next question, what did Marco Polo do before he was famous? Marco Polo was a merchant in Venice before he became the famous explorer we know today. At 17, he left Venice with his father and uncle. They traveled the Silk Road to China, where he met the great ruler Kublai Khan. The next one question is, what happened to Marco Polo? Polo died at his home in Venice on 8 January 1324. As he lay dying, friends and fans of his book paid him visits, urging him to admit that the book was a fiction. Polo wouldn't relent. So the next one question is, how did Marco Polo become blind? So its answer is that there is no evidence that has come forth to indicate that Marco Polo was blind or had any other vision issues. Is Marco Polo series historically accurate? So the answer is, but according to Mongolian historians, much of the plot plays fast and loose with the facts. Batsuk, who spent 10 years researching his book, The History of Kublai Khan, told AFP from a historical standpoint, 20% of the film was actual history and 80% was fiction. The next one question is, why was Marco Polo cancelled on Netflix? For both reasons, Netflix incurred a loss of $200 million. Therefore, it came as a joint decision from Netflix and the Weinstein Company to cancel Marco Polo for season 3. Next question, why was Marco Polo a failure? So Netflix has pulled the plug on drama Marco Polo. After poor critical reviews and a huge production loss, Marco Polo becomes the first scripted show produced by Netflix to get axed before making it to the season 3. That's all. So let's see some of the pictures of Marco Polo. That's all for today. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Allah Hafiz.